Guys, welcome to another edition of Box to Box Football. Back here with me and Jack, and let's talk about the goats, Messi and Ronaldo. They're both helping out their respective countries, Argentina and Portugal. Ronaldo recently got knocked out. Messi just got Argentina into the semi-final where they're going to play Canada. Um, Jack, I'm a bit
Yeah,
conflicted about this whole thing, because now with these tournaments we're already in the midst of it. And we've seen what Ronaldo's done, his whole tournament's done, and I've seen what Messi's done, and he may go on to win it. I don't want to see Messi or Ronaldo at the 2026 World Cup. Why? Because what I've seen today, as of now, these guys have done everything to do in the game of football, but they should not step on the field in 2026. Why? Because it's just people sometimes, especially nowadays, they very look at what you've done for me now. And in terms of view of Messi and Ronaldo, they're going to look at Ronaldo from this old man who walks about the field, flaps his arm, takes all these free kicks and all this sort of stuff, and that's the image of who he is. Yeah, Messi, Jack. Upon
yeah,
we've seen Ronaldo, people actually watch the Copa America. Messi hasn't been impressive himself. All this walking around
right,
now, generally Jack just walks around and he ambles around. And before it was, I hate that word carry. I just hate it. But it was Ronaldo carrying Portugal. It was Messi carrying Argentina. Now it's almost they're carrying them, and I don't want that to
right.
be the image of them. I think Ronaldo, especially, I feel with his ego, his mindset is, oh, I still have one. And Jack, seeing that Euros, that it's probably done. But but before I get into how do you feel about the whole thing?
Look, I think it's an interesting um what's the best way to describe this? It's an interesting kind of window into psychology, I think, because you don't want to be the coach or the manager that says to, I mean, it's nice of you to say goats, and I know Ronaldo still has a lot of his goat, a lot of people in his corner calling him the goat and stuff. But I think generally speaking, the football world is pretty settled on the fact Messi is probably the greatest of all time now, especially after that World Cup. Going to the greatest player of all time, when he can still contribute, I'm not saying it's pretty and at the levels that he's been at before, but being the manager to go to the greatest of all time and go, I don't kind of think you need to be here anymore because we've got this person who's going to come and replace you, and we've got this person to come and replace you. They've given so much to the game. You don't want to be that guy in the last chapter of their autobiography where it says, my international career came to an end because manager X told me so. Right. So I think that's really difficult because you're not just managing the ego and emotions of the player, you're managing how the rest of the squad are going to react to that. And then, James, the nation that it's all the inhabitants of the nation that they represent. Messi won them a World Cup. So being the manager that says you can't go, I mean, how are the fans going to feel? Portugal, Nations League's not a massive deal, but a Euros, kind of a big deal, right? And Ronaldo was very, very influential in that. I agree with you. I think that the time has kind of come. In 2 years' time, I fully expect both of them to be playing in the MLS. That's just my guess. I think that's where Ronaldo will go next after Saudi Arabia. Um, and I think the I think the most interesting thing is, are you going to be able to compare each of them with the person who's going to be replacing them and sincerely say that they're better? Because, like, I mean, think about it. Playing as a number nine for Portugal right now, and it's a serious question. Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo is better, or do you think somebody like Gonzalo Ramos is better? Like, serious question. What do you think?
I'm not a fan of Gonzalo Ramos, if I'm being honest, Jack. I'm just not a fan. Um,
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he was keeping out somebody of the ability of Ollie Watkins, if Ronaldo was English and he was keeping out Ollie Watkins or Ivan Toney, you and I might go, man, I'd probably take both those guys over Ronaldo at the moment. But if you're keeping out somebody like Gonzalo Ramos, maybe he's the best that you got. Messi is slightly different. Messi can play in multiple positions. You and I have talked about this before. He slots into 10 very easily. He can still kind of play out wide if he's really drifting in. I know we talked about this years and years ago. I want to see the Andrea Pirlo version of Messi sitting in front of the back four in a possession dominant team, just pinging the ball around and dictating play. I don't know if we're ever going to see that. I think that's me being a bit idealistic, but is that something we could see as well? And also, who's coming in to replace Messi in the squad as well? Because James, these two players can't be subs. They can't be subs. They're either starters and the pinpoint and the focal point of your team, or they're not in the squad at all. These guys are not going to sit on the bench ever.
Um, Jack, Messi and Ronaldo, and I adore them the most. They have earned every right to do whatever they want. And who am I to say? I'm just a guy who's a big fan of football, just giving my opinion on it. But I feel like as much as football owes them a lot, and they're giving everything to football, they should sometimes have the humility to realize, okay, what's best for the people around me and what's best for the team. Now, can Ronaldo
Right?
still contribute and help Portugal out and score a couple goals there? Yeah. But did he need to play 120 minutes every single game? No, no, he didn't.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Messi, yeah. In terms of view of Jack, listen, I think Messi's love, and Messi's probably loved squad wise more than Ronaldo is. I think the way that these guys play for Messi is they know what they have to do because if they play well for Messi, Messi plays well, they will usually win. But at the same time, is
Right.
Messi giving them the contribution that he was giving them 2 years ago when they went on to win um the Copa America when they went on to win the World Cup? No. I think somebody around them needs to look at them and say, you know what?
I don't know who that is. Is that a wife? Is that a best friend? Is that a family member? That's a tough conversation to have for these two. It's easy if you're. It's easy for Pepe to be like, dude, you're 41. Like you've got good defenders in Portugal. Let it go. Somebody can come in and do a nice job. But for Ronaldo and Messi, that's really difficult. And then this is my only other thing that I want to say. I think both of them will be in the MLS in 2 years' time. Messi maybe not, but I think he still will be. And I think that there's going to be a lot of pressure. Not that they're going to bow to the pressure because they don't need to. Nobody's got any leverage on these two guys. But if they're both in the MLS and the World Cup is in America and America are finally trying to embrace soccer, right? There's going to be a great deal of pressure for the two poster men of football in
Football.
the history of the game, probably at that point, to play in the domestic World Cup of that nation. I'm messing up my words there,
Yeah,
but there's going to be a lot of pressure. Not that they'll bow to it, but I think that maybe is the swan song. I don't know.
I just don't want them. I just don't want us to look, especially the young people are gonna see it right now and say, oh, especially Ronaldo. This guy just walks around, poaches, scores penalties. No, Jack, I seen Ronaldo at his best. You seen Ronaldo's best. We all seen
Right,
Ronaldo's best. Greatest, greatest, most complete forward I've ever seen in my life. Messi,
right,
the absolute G. Just in terms of your football, it's not right. It's not coachable. It's just
no,
wow. I
yeah.
don't, I don't want us to see just the way it is. And in fact, you mentioned Ollie Watkins and Ronaldo and saying they're better. They are, but
But that's where we're at.
it's like Jake Paul fighting Mike Tyson. Yeah, the name is there, but we all know where, like it's like where it's at. It's sad, but at the same time, it was a hell of a ride. And if they decide to do it, cool. Just guys, just be easy on them because they are two greatest of all time, and they've made this game. They've ruined the game a little bit, if I'm being honest, because they made us believe that scoring 50, 60 goals, 70 goals a season is something that everybody should do when it's not right. Getting 5 Ballon d'Ors, winning Champions League, winning trebles is what everybody needs to do and breaking these records and being match winner after match winner. They ruined the game, but they ruined the game for the better, and we love them for it. Well, I do, and Jack does too. But this is box to box football, guys. Let us know what you think right there. Should Messi and Ronaldo be at the next World Cup? Comment down below, and we'll see you guys next time.